Now we're going to talk a little bit about anatomy and how it relates to the movement method. In basic terms, anatomy is the study of the parts that make up a human being, the bones and joints, the muscles, and the organs. We're going to focus on the muscles and joints for the most part, and we'll talk about the organs as they relate to the circulatory, respiratory, and lymphatic systems later on in the certification course. What you need to know most is that even though it might not seem like it logically, one muscle group can have a significant impact on another muscle group, even if they are not in close proximity to one another, like the ankle and the shoulder, for instance. Anatomy. It's all connected. Here again is an example of the key movement points in the body. Each point consists of muscles and fascia, and some have movable joints like the shoulders and hips. Next, we will go through some of the visuals of the muscles and bones that make up the major movement points that we'll be focusing on in this training course. We'll dive deeper into some of them as we get further along, but for now, we'll keep it simple and straightforward, just to give you a good overview of anatomy. There are lots of small muscles and bones in the cervical spine that are responsible for movement of the head and neck. Shoulder anatomy encompasses the arm, chest, and although it's not pictured here, the scapula as well. There's a lot going on in the shoulder, and we will definitely spend more time discussing the shoulder during the stretching videos. Chest anatomy involves the rib cage and diaphragm, as well as the upper arm and shoulder complex. The back. So much to say. Lots of big muscles like the trapezius and the latissimus, and plenty of smaller muscles like the serratus posterior that all contribute to posture and alignment. We will definitely be talking more about the back and the spine later on. The hip is my favorite because there's so much going on here. So many movements and muscles that are involved in those movements. It's also the most stable joint in the body because it bears most of the weight of your body, and it's a major player in the action of walking. The hip flexor muscles are responsible for so much more than just hip flexion, and I can't wait to tell you more about that later on. The knee is a pretty simple joint, but it's responsible for so much pain and postural issues in so many people. It's another weight-bearing joint, as are most of the joints in the lower body. There are 20 muscles in the foot, 26 bones, and believe it or not, there are 30 joints. It's a major player in so much of our daily movement and functioning.